curious. Okay, so nail to nail. Okay. It is... Wait. Hello everyone, I hope you all are having a blessed day. Today marks the 6-month anniversary mark thing, halfway point, because I wanted to try this for a year, of me trying out these 2 hair serums, and I figured at the 6-month mark here will determine if these actually did do anything. So for our starting density, and that's how I'm kind of measuring the growth, I'm not measuring my length of my hair, but the density, you can go back and watch the 1 month of trying these hair serums, and I went a little bit more into detail about my hair loss. It basically was due to a medication that I've been taking for my migraines. Allegedly. And I went on medication twice. Dumb, but it's dumb because I didn't know, and no one told me. I didn't do the correlation, no doctor made the correlation, and I didn't realize until the second time I went on the medication that, and my hair was just like coming out like in clumpsfuls, that I was like, okay, what's new? It's this medication. I've been on this medication for a month now, I just upped the dose, and suddenly my hair is falling out. So, and then I was like, I was on this medication in my mid-20s when all my hair fell out and never grew back. And that's the thing. When it's supposed to grow back. When you have everything that I've read, when you lose your hair due to medications, it's supposed to like grow back. It's supposed to come back after you get off like those medications. It's not supposed to be something like permanent. It's so weird. And when I mentioned it to a doctor, they're just like, huh. I get that a lot when I bring up concerns. It's like, huh. Anyways, so I've been testing these out, and I figured that the 6-month mark will be a real test to see if these are even working. I know I was doing these instead of, what's it called? And I was using these instead of Minoxidil, which I think would probably like be the best topical like hair serum to try, and you can get ones that are not Rogaines and much more better priced. I've even gone into my local Walmart and they've been there, and it was like, I think like a 2-month supply for like $10 or something like that. Like it wasn't, like, it was very doable. And I think even like cheaper maybe than what these would be, especially together. But they are very toxic to pets, especially cats, because cats groom themselves so much. And if they get like any trace residue on them and then they lick it and ingest it, it can cause catastrophic heart failure and problems. And my understanding is like they'll just drop dead. You wouldn't be able to do anything in time because the damage would just be too extensive. So I was like, okay, no. I have seen people who say that they have dogs and they still use it. I think it's better with dogs because dogs aren't always licking themselves, and if you're like so careful with the application, constantly, changing your pillowcase, maybe putting on a shower cap while it dries so it's not transferring anywhere, like onto any furniture. And then at night you can wear like a hair bonnet on top of changing the pillowcases, so that way it will minimize. And especially if you have a dog that doesn't sleep with you at night, like it doesn't sleep in your bed, you probably wouldn't have to worry about it as much. But because we have a cat, I just don't want to risk it. It's just, yeah, I would never forgive myself. So that's why I went looking for, okay, what are other options other than Minoxidil? Is that how you say it? Anyways, that could hopefully work. I don't know if they work as well. Like, I've seen people's results with that stuff, and I don't know if it beats this. Like, their 6-month type of results, their year results, like, are not, it's not the same, But we're doing our best. We're gonna judge and see if this works. Full disclosure, I also about 2 months ago went and bought this whole system. This whole thing, like, together was like $50. It wasn't cheap. I love the shampoo. Actually, repurchased the shampoo on Amazon. Here, if you don't believe me, I'll go get it. Ta-da! See, I have 2. This one hasn't been opened. This one is the one I've been using. And yeah, because I really did like this shampoo. It doesn't give as good of clean as the Pantene Volume one, but it gives a decent clean, I would say. So I use the Volume one like once, twice a month, just depending, and then I have to use a dandruff shampoo. I've been really trying to focus on my scalp health, and someone talked about how if you can like scratch your scalp like that, and then you have like white, like I used to get like white stuff underneath my nails, and I just thought like it was just like just dead skin. Apparently it's not dead skin, that is fungus, because everybody has fungus growing on their scalp. But if you can do something like that, it means that it's overgrown and you need a dandruff shampoo. And I found that I almost need to use it almost every single wash, which is right now, I used to try to just do 2 washes. I've upped it to 3 washes just because that's what my scalp needs to stay nice and clear and have no fungus built up. Otherwise, because if you let that fungus build up and you're using a serum, it's not gonna get to your actual scalp. It's not gonna get as good into the follicles and get where it needs to get because you have all the buildup. So you do need to focus on figuring out the best clean that you can get in keeping your scalp clean, just so that these can help work just a little bit better. Sure, I didn't repurchase when it was on sale on Amazon just because I kind of want to try the Dove Volume Conditioner just because it's slightly cheaper per an ounce. And it has the same, like, similar vitamins, you know, like that same concept to, over time, through washes, you know, making your hair a little bit better. So I wanted to try that because in this economy, if it's cheaper per an ounce and it works, I want to go with that. So let's measure my hair and see what the results have been. I just wanted to be honest. Like, I've been applying this in the morning and these at night. I only put this on because it's the more expensive one when my scalp is clean. So usually after I've washed my hair, I put it on, and then I use this one pretty much every single night. So this is 3 times a week. This is 7 days a week. And then this also, as long as my hair is clean, like if it's wash day, I'm going to wash my hair that night and my hair isn't looking too good, I'll usually skip it because I'll figure if my hair is really oily and has built up on the scalp, it's not going to do much of anything. I'm just wasting my money. And I would say that I think even though I was using these, I do think that when I started this up, maybe like 2 months ago now, I think 2 months is about right. And it's not even halfway after the 2 months. It's pretty close. It's about there. I do think I saw less shedding. And that's what this is for. It's to help with so your hair doesn't shed as much, and that's how you can help, you know, get more hair on your head, where it slows down that natural shedding process. So starting density was 5.5 centimeters before I started any of the serums, and then 1 month of using the serums was 6 centimeters. And I was shocked because it had just been a month. It's like, there's no way that the hair like got from here to here in a month. I don't believe it. I mean, I guess from my nape of the neck to here, it's a little less, you know, growth that it needs to do, but still. And I theorized that it was because the medication was out of my system. I quit the medication that had, I believe, caused all of this problem a month before I started using the serums. So when I measured and got the 6 centimeters, it had been 2 months since I've been off the medication. So I think some of the results were that. And that's why I think that us doing the 6-month update will give us the real deal. So just like before, I'm going to put my thumb on the 0. So I know where that is. And then take my other thumb, my nail. I wonder if it'd be better to measure up top. I think before I measure it down. We should do both and just see if it's different. Curious. Okay, so nail to nail. Okay. It is... Wait, does that mean it might actually be back at the 5.5? That's crazy. Does that mean 6 months didn't do anything? Yeah, I'm getting 5.5 is where my nail is. I think I'm holding it upside down for you guys. Oh my goodness. So let's measure the top. So this may mean that these serums, I thought for sure, like I could see like some, like the volume increase, I thought. I don't know if it's done anything. I'm so shocked. I was expecting like still to be like at least at the 6 centimeters. Ow. Okay, so that's 6 centimeters. So when I measure up top, when I measure here, it measures 5.5, but when I measure above the ponytail, it measures 6. What if we like pull this down just slightly? Curious. Okay, nail at 0, and then nail to nail. I mean, this is probably not the most accurate way of measuring ever. Yeah, up here, now when I pulled it down, closer to here is measuring 6, and then down here is measuring lower. And if that makes sense to me, I can show you videos I've seen, and I have hair, like when I blow dry it, I can see like hair all down through here, and it will like, all the little wispy flyaways and everything. I have hair like at every single, all the lengths throughout my hair, but that pretty much means, and I kind of felt that maybe this was the case, that at least from a measurement perspective, that my hair density hasn't changed. Okay, so 6-month update for the hair growth is no real change from a density perspective. I'm kind of surprised because I thought I thought my hair was looking a little bit thicker. Here, like you can see, I thought there was just so much more hair density here, and then about maybe, I could probably stand to like cut all this off, but I don't want to, but I probably should and could. And I thought it was gonna be like at least like 6.1, 6.2, but there's literally been 0 change in hair density since trying these hair serums. So yeah, I kind of have felt like I've reached like the point where this was as good as it's gonna get with these serums, because it's not doing anything. I definitely think I could phase this one out because it's just so much more expensive, so I'm going to use up what I have. If you did try the serum and you like it, they do have a value pack, so you can buy like 4 of them at once. It's a lot of money up front, but it makes it cheaper per ounce, so there is that way to do that. I might continue with this one just because this one does have some ingredients in it, at least according to Google, that will block DHT, and I kind of wondering if that's my whole problem. The only way to know for sure is that you have to go into a dermatologist and they have to look at your hair follicles, up close under a microscope, I guess, or some sort of magnification so they can see and look and see if there's any shrinkage of the follicle. There's no like blood test or anything like that they can do to tell if your follicles are sensitive to the DHT and having a reaction. So I might just continue with this. And again, I wasn't doing the Minoxidil because of the whole pet thing. I have pets, and my understanding is that like your cat will just drop dead before you have time to, even if you're like 10 minutes away from a vet that couldn't do anything, there wouldn't be anything that you could do. So I didn't want to risk that. That seems, I think, to be the best thing. I'd love it if they came out with a topical that wasn't so bloody expensive. There's other things you can do, like for like stem cells and stuff like that are a little bit more pricey, and growth factors and stuff like that. again, pricey. So there are stuff that you can do, but I wanted something that was a little bit more affordable, and the Minoxidil, especially that you can get at Costco, but I was even looking at Walmart, and they had, if memory serves, like a 2-month supply for like around $10 or something like that. It's pretty affordable. So, 2 months for $10 is $5 a month. Not bad at all. And I figured, I messaged my doctor. I said I've been using the ordinary serum, and I feel like I've just, for about 6 months now, and I kind of feel like I've reached just the best that it's going to do and help and offer for me. And I asked, would you be willing to write a prescription for Minoxidil? I said, even if insurance won't pay for it, I can get it from Amazon. I said, Amazon can see all the hair stuff I buy through them. But, because they were telling me, you can get the Minoxidil for, they said $3 with insurance, $7.50 with Prime if, they said, and that wasn't like a guaranteed price. They say, if, what's it called? If you, oh god, qualify. Oh my lord. That was excruciating. Alright, so it was $3 with insurance, $7.50 if you qualify with Prime, and then it was like $11 or $12, something around there, with no insurance, no Prime, for a 30-day supply. The problem with taking it orally is that it will cause hair to grow everywhere, because when you just apply it to your scalp, it will just cause your scalp to grow, because it's being applied here, and then as long as you wash your hands, could even wear gloves, I guess, if you're really concerned about it. But yeah, so I got my own prescription of the Minoxidil, and yeah, you can't take it if you're pregnant. I wonder if you could take it topically if you're pregnant. But yeah, no, because there's warnings over here about it. Don't take it if you're pregnant. Don't, no breastfeeding, anything like that. And I do know that it can cause low blood pressure. That's something my doctor warned me about to, if I start feeling dizzy and lightheaded, that to keep an eye on. I've never had blood pressure issues, so we'll see. So we'll come back in another 6 months and we'll see what this does. There's only 30 pills in here, and they put it in the biggest thing they possibly could. I don't, what was the logic? Anyways, definitely make sure your pets don't get into the pills. I think that would be so bad. But this way I don't have to worry about any of the residue ending up anywhere that it shouldn't be and potentially harming any of my pets. I do think that this is, even with insurance, might be a little bit more expensive. So yeah, the problem is there's more side effects, unwanted hair growth everywhere else, because it will do your whole body. It doesn't just go to your scalp. And yeah, and then the blood pressure issues. So those are reasons why I think a lot of people and doctors prefer the topical, but my doctor was understanding. If this doesn't work, I don't know, there may be nothing I can do. I might see if insurance would be willing to pay for me to go see an actual dermatologist. I don't know if they would, because it might be considered cosmetic. I was surprised when they paid for this. I thought for sure I was gonna have to pay out of pocket. But I want to try anything to try and get my hair back, because I used to have hair and now I have no hair. I can show you pictures of what my hair used to be, and the thickness of just one braid I have for my whole hair. I used to have, oh man, maybe not even double that, because it's not one braid, then add another braid over here is 3 times that, because I always put huge layers and exaggerated layers in my hair, so the ponytail was that thick even with all those layers still. So yeah, I lost a lot of hair, and I'm trying to get it back. And so far I can say, at least for my specific case, I don't know if these did anything for me. It doesn't mean that they won't do anything for you. It just didn't do anything for me from a hair density perspective. So makes me sad. But my thought process is because this has compounds in it that will help block DHT, so this will help block the DHT. And then the minoxidil doesn't block DHT. What it does is just helps bring better circulation to your hair follicles and helps stimulate growth that way. So I'm hoping that the combination of this and the minoxidil will actually do something for me. I do know that for the topical stuff, people were saying you don't really see results for like 6 months. So we're going to need to do another update in 6 months just to see, because I have been told that minoxidil, at least for the topical stuff, you're supposed to don't really see results for 6 months. So we'll do another update, and then it will have been a whole year since I've been trying to get my hair back, so far unsuccessfully. And yeah, but I still feel like I'm still figuring out stuff with like my shampoo routine and my conditioner routine, and I think I've figured some stuff out in that regards that works for my hair. But yeah, so we're gonna come back in another 6 months, so it'll be a year total, and we'll see, is the minoxidil doing anything? Is it working? If it doesn't do anything, I guess I can ask and just see if insurance will let me go see a dermatologist. I'm just worried that they'll say it's cosmetic and say no. So, yeah. Anyways, so kind of disappointing that it hasn't worked, that this alone. I really was expecting, because I thought that my hair, density-wise, has felt like that I have more hair now. You know? So I'm just so surprised that it doesn't show in the measurements. I'm so confused, because like I thought, and yeah, but I do have like hairs, like you can see shorter hairs up here that are still growing, and that's what I mean. But like I have like hairs of like every single kind of length, so like this stuff up here doesn't even make it into the ponytail and all of that. So maybe in a year, not a year, sorry, a year total, but in 6 months, all that will be down here, and then it will show in the measurements. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be like a quick fix for any of this stuff. And so many people suffer from hair loss now. Is anybody looking into that? Like, why everybody's losing their hair? It seems to be like a more of a modern day problem. And I'd love to know. Anyways, yeah, I will see you guys in 6 months for another update. All right, bye. Oh, and real quick, one thing I didn't mention was that I did have labs done, and there wasn't anything in the blood work that showed a reason for the hair loss. So, no deficiencies, no hormone imbalances, at least nothing. They can only see in premenopausal women if it's like really drastic. So nothing drastic. There could be something slightly off that I'm sensitive to, and I just wouldn't know. So yeah, I kind of felt like I'd reached a peak for the serums, but like, look, you can see there is like growth that naturally is there that isn't here to measure in the ponytail. So not necessarily the best method for testing things out, but again, I do think that the combination of the ordinary and then the minoxidil will do something, just because you're hitting it from both fronts. You're blocking the DHT, and then my understanding is minoxidil basically improves circulation and blood supply to the hair follicles and helps strengthen the hairs that way. So hoping those two together may actually do something. But